There you go, buddy. Better late than never. Yeah. Yellow. I've only ever seen yellow. It's fantastic. People can see me. Yeah. Nobody fucking sees me. Anyway. It's okay. Rear view mirrors, don't need them when you're going fast enough. Mind the bugs. They don't stand a chance. Pretty simple. Like I said, I got the F4, not the F4i. I would recommend the F4i. Difference between the F4 and the CBR 600 is apparent here, where the handlebars are above the triple tree rather than below. Much more upright riding position. It's fantastic. I've never gotten a cramp. I talked to a guy. He said his right hand went numb, but fuck, maybe he might have been having a stroke. I don't know. Mind the dust too. Fuck. I just did my road test in the rain, which I failed, by the way. Failed it. Not only did the bike die, I'll go over that in a sec, but I ran a red light. The bike died, so I pull over, right? Here's the trunk release. Right there. Bike dies. I'm gonna put you down. So I pull over to the side of the road. And they're like, hey, you know, like, you don't need to pull over. What's going on? And I was like, yeah, my bike just died. So they're like, well, did you fill it up with gas? I'm like, well, yeah, of course I did. Like, I filled it up right before I left. So they're like, all right, well, anyways. I said, how am I doing anyways? They said, well, you ran a red light. So this connector right here, I don't know what this fucking white one does, but this black one here, it's right above where the battery goes. Battery. Watch the fuck out for that thing, because it was loose, and it goes to the fuel pump. I know you're thinking, oh, it's carbureted. Doesn't need a fuel pump. This bike does. It's crazy. Anyways, so the fuel pump stopped pumping, and then the bolt and the carbs ran dry, and it was like I was running out of gas, even though I had a full tank. As you can hear, ridiculous. Anyway, long story short, Google's a beautiful thing, smartphones, I love them. And I was able to fix it and drive my ass back home. It's like a 45-minute ride back home. And I still got like 2 hours in at work. That snaps in like a beauty. That's it. That's pretty much it. One problem with the F4Is that I have been figuring out is that they have like a little bit of a tick when they're idling. It's just like a little like tick, 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 and it goes away right around 3,000, 5,000 RPM. But anyways, right around here, it might be different on your bike, but like right around there, you take this fairing off and shit. And I think you might have to lift the tank, but I don't know. Anyways, there's something called a cam chain tensioner. And what it does, as far as I understand, uses the oil pressure built up by the engine while it's running to tighten a chain, but it wears out and it loosens, and then the chain just kind of slaps and makes a ticking sound. So cam chain tensioner, it's a cheap part, but it's a lot of labor. And while you're doing all that, you might as well just get a full service, which I don't know, around here is like $500. Anyways, cam chain tensioner, very common for F4Is. It's like a common Honda problem. And that's pretty much the only problem I have with the bike, other than that fucking connector. And the connectors, like, they got like, one of them's got a hoop and the other one's got a clasp, and I don't know how they let go, but they sure did. So that's garbage. Oh man, I just shit bricks there for a second. I thought I left the key in the trunk. Oh, that's bad. So it's entirely cold, but hey, well, why not? There's a choke right there. You're probably not gonna have one of those. Green light, neutral, red light. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Kill switch and start. Sounds like a bike until it dies for no reason at all. That's it, man. I honestly don't even know what else to tell you. It's yellow and black. It's made of fiberglass or plastic or whatever. Changing oil is way more difficult than on the Cruiser, but oh my god, dude, it's so worth it. Everything that is not cool about this bike that was cool about the Cruiser, it doesn't even matter to me at all, because this bike is so much more fun and capable, and like, I don't know, I love it. It's fantastic. Just people are like, oh, it's a Bumblebee. It's a Bumblebee bike. Fucking hell, I just want to hit those people because Transformers are lame. Oh well. Anyways, I would recommend Honda for sure. For sure, without a doubt. Even though that connector broke for whatever reason, it's not even a hint of a problem. I was able to fix it. It didn't cost me any money. It was a little bit inconvenient, true, but it didn't cost me any money. And, oh, another thing. The chain. Keep that motherfucker clean. Keep it clean, because apparently it will just wreck shit if it's not clean. And what did I use? I'm pretty sure, I read a whole bunch of shit on the forums. And I went out and I picked up, yeah, that just fell. Picked up that shit. That was, I don't know, some Walmart purchase. Buddy of mine hooked me up with some of this stuff. I don't know where the hell he got it. But truth be told, WD-40 cleans that shit off in a jiffy. Seriously, cannot be controlled at all. WD-40 is completely unstoppable. I think I WD'd it hard. I used a piece of shit rag, and then I put the chain lube on afterwards, after I wiped the WD off with the piece of shit rag, which is going to be destroyed entirely, because it's going to be sopping wet in WD-40, which smells like ass and also is like oil, so it's going to fuck everything up. Anyways, there you go, man. I get about 240K per tank. I don't know your fucking conversion rates. Doesn't matter. You'll figure it out. I've only had it up to about 200 because I'm a big pussy. But there's huge amounts of potential to go past that. I don't know the differences between 200 and 240, but like 100 and 200 don't feel any different at all. It's just buttery smooth, and I take it completely that it's a Honda. It's so fucking smooth because it's gorgeous. Oh, one more thing. The bike has rebuilt status. Got it for a smoking deal. I was just really happy to be on a 600 as opposed to the Cruiser. But you can't see it, but trust me, you can feel it. This handlebar is just a little bit more forward than that one there. I've got nuts and stuff like that to play with. No dice. It doesn't fix it. So what you can do is the forks. And these sons of bitches right here, they come down. It's all like one thing. There's just a couple of bolts that you can undo. You can correct it. Now I don't have any of the parts, or I don't have any of the tools in order to measure any of that shit. So it's just all by feel, and I sort of moved it where I thought it should be. And I tightened it all back up, but it re-zeros, and it's definitely just a little bit cockeyed, just a little bit closer. So slight. Maybe I'm just being a total neurotic, crazy person about it. This is important. Get yourself some gear. That jacket cost me $100 online. It's full on, like, badass leather. Cruiser style, but I don't have the money for another jacket, so that's just the way she goes. So, this is also a necessity. A helmet. I know you're thinking the beer, right? Helmet. Flat black, HJC, fantastic. Kind of the mid-range. You pull on this little bit right here underneath. Thing pops up. Bam! Get a drink of water, talk to somebody, whatever you want. Little flap right here. That pulls down the internal, yeah, it's not that difficult, but it is kind of with one hand. Internal sun visor, and then another button in front of it. Pops it up. There it goes. Sunglasses. But if it's dark, you've still got the clear fog shield. Again, mind the bugs. Just push this down, clicky clack, done. One thing to gripe about though, HJC. This, see this vent right here? It's just got two little circles. It doesn't have the Venturi principle in that the back of the helmet, normally right under this ridge here, there's usually some vents. And what those do is they create negative pressure, sucking air out the back, which then draws it in through the front, cooling your head. Now this doesn't work that way. I don't know if you can see, but there are no fucking vents back there. I did not do my research on this helmet. However, I do love it because, you know, I dissipate like a motherfucker on account of being extremely skinny. So, not a huge deal, but you might fucking hate it. Also, craziest thing ever. This little vent in the front here. This will defog on moisture sort of heavy days. However, twice now, I'm not shitting you, twice I'm riding and I swear, like you see the bugs, right? They're coming, they're deflecting off, they're doing whatever they're doing. This fucking bee just zoop right in there. And now it's crawling on the inside of my visor. It's wild. It's the most terrifying thing ever. So I end up just closing this, closing it. So, again, the helmet. It doesn't vent well. It's awful for venting, but I like the flippy up. That's pretty fantastic. So, I mean, if you can go with something else that flippies up, or maybe, you know, the chin like comes down a bit lower to expose your mouth or something like that, but definitely get something that has vents that are tiny, not something that a fucking bug can fit through. Like, look, I could get my pinky in here. It's ridiculous. Twice, a bee has been on the inside of my helmet. It's god-awful, and I wouldn't recommend this thing to anybody. Now, this is a certain iteration of helmet. It's been discontinued. It's called the BT Max because it's got like a Bluetooth ready bit right here, but they completely dropped that because the Chatterbox Bluetooth that fits in there is garbage anyways. So, that's, oh, well, I don't know what to tell you. Get your gear, do your research. Don't spend anything less than like $200 on a helmet, honestly. You'll just be kicking yourself in the pants. Get yourself a jacket, number one most important thing, and gloves, they help a lot too. Especially if it's going to be hot and you're going to be slipping. The last thing you want is to drop throttle and have somebody run into your back tire. Because, you know, there's not a whole lot of leeway out there. Anyways, again, the bike's rebuilt. It has certain little quirks, but it rides well enough and, you know, it's cheap enough. So, I mean, I'm on two wheels. So I'm way ahead of the guy who isn't. Regardless of, you know, how quality the ride is. And you know what? The bike doesn't do shit anyways. It's all about the rider. So, do your diligence, learn your shit. Make sure you understand counter steering. It's physics. You'll get it. It's science. Alright, man. That's it. Hope you lasted through the video. It's a hell of a lot longer than I thought it was. I always criticize YouTube videos that are long. Because, you know, it's like, you know what? I don't have time to fucking sit here and listen to you talk about your bike and how wonderful it is. It's like 15 minutes of my life, and like, is it really worth it? I don't know. So, I get it now. Really difficult to cut it short. Jacket. Leather jacket. I don't have any armor, but seriously, get that shit. Because, I mean, you won't stand a chance against the concrete. You really do not. So, make sure that an animal is there to have your back. Literally. Alright, dude, that's it. Happy riding. Don't beat yourself up too hard about getting a bike, because chances are your parents do not want you to get a bike, especially your mama. I had that problem, but I pretty much just said fuck it. I didn't try to convince her or anything. I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm getting a bike, because I'm not going to piss my life away. You're going to have to break through that. Either way. That's it. Coming up on 15 minutes. I'm going to cut it just short of 15 just to say that I did.